If you think complimenting a woman always increases your chances with her, I've got some bad news. Some compliments do the exact opposite, and they might be the reason she lost interest in you. Have you ever been in a situation where everything seemed to be going well? The conversation was flowing, the chemistry was there, but out of nowhere, she started to pull away, reply less, or even disappear. You try to figure out what went wrong, thinking maybe it was something you said, and maybe it was the problem? A compliment you gave her, thinking you were impressing her. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 3 forbidden compliments that instead of creating attraction, instantly make women lose interest. And the worst part? The 3rd compliment on the list is the trickiest of all, and almost every guy has made this mistake without even realizing it. So stick around until the end, because this could completely change your game. Pay close attention because the 3rd compliment on the list is the most dangerous of all, and almost every guy has made this mistake without even noticing. So stay until the end, because this could change your game entirely. A few days ago, a buddy of mine came to vent. He was excited because he had met an amazing woman. The conversations were great, the dates were happening, and he felt like he had finally found someone different. But then, out of nowhere, poof, she started acting weird. Short replies, ignored messages, and within a few days, she was gone. The guy was completely confused. He had been nice, attentive, and even made sure to compliment her. Yet she disappeared anyway. That got me thinking, how many guys go through this without even knowing why? How can something as simple as a compliment push a woman away? I decided to dig deeper. I talked to some women, analyzed the dynamics of attraction, and man, what I discovered was shocking. Many compliments that men think are sweet and harmless actually destroy any chance they had. And the worst part? The more sincere the compliment, the bigger the damage. Yes, you might be digging your own grave without realizing it. If this has ever happened to you, if a woman seemed interested and suddenly cooled off, it's very likely that you made this mistake without even knowing. And relax, it has nothing to do with your looks, your bank account, or your status. The problem lies in how certain compliments affect her mindset. Some words may seem harmless, but they trigger psychological reactions that make her see you in a way you definitely don't want. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what these forbidden compliments are and why they kill attraction in seconds. And before you think, oh, I never do that, just wait until you get to the last one, you might be surprised. But first, there's something essential you need to understand about how women actually process attraction. If you think compliments are always a surefire way to win her over, hold on, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change your game. Since we were kids, we've been told that giving compliments is one of the best ways to win someone over. Women love to be complimented. How many times have you heard that? And it makes sense, right? If someone says something nice about you, it's natural to like that person. But when it comes to attraction, my friend, logic doesn't always work the way you expect. A compliment might get a smile in the moment, but beneath the surface, it could be sabotaging your chances with her. The truth is, not all compliments create attraction. Some do the exact opposite. They send subtle messages that put you in a weak position, making you seem predictable, needy, or even desperate. And the worst part? You don't even realize it. You think you're being romantic and charming, but in her mind, something shifts. She might not even understand why, but suddenly, the vibe isn't the same anymore. Now think about this. Have you ever felt like things were going great with a woman, like the connection was real, but then out of nowhere, she started to pull away? Maybe it happened right after a compliment you thought would impress her. Has this ever happened to you? Tell me in the comments, because I know a lot of guys have been through this without even realizing why. But don't worry, because here's the good news. There's a specific reason this happens. And once you understand how the female mind works, you can flip the script and use compliments the right way, in a way that actually builds attraction. Now pay attention, because I'm about to tell you something most men never realize, and this changes everything. Here's a truth most guys don't get. Women don't react to compliments the same way men do. When a guy gets a compliment, he feels valued and, most of the time, becomes more interested in the person who complimented him. But with women, the game is completely different. Depending on how and when you compliment her, it could be the beginning of the end. Sounds crazy, right? But the explanation is simple. Attraction doesn't follow logic, it follows emotion. If a compliment makes a woman feel like she already has you wrapped around her finger, the magic disappears. Her instinct craves challenge, mystery, something that gives her butterflies. But when you hand it all over on a silver platter, without her having to earn it, well, that's when you become just another guy in the crowd. The interest fades before you even notice. A lot of men think that complimenting a woman's beauty, intelligence, or personality is always a winning move. But the truth? Some compliments immediately put you at a disadvantage. And the worst part, the more sincere and well-intentioned they are, the more dangerous they become. You might think you're building a connection when in reality, you're destroying any chance of creating genuine attraction. Now, the big question, what are these forbidden compliments? And more importantly, what should you say instead to create an irresistible connection? Let's get into the details now. And pay close attention, because the third compliment on the list is the trickiest one of all. Almost every guy has said it without realizing the damage it does. Let's get straight to the point. Here are 3 forbidden compliments that make a woman lose interest without you even realizing it. The first one, wow, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Sounds harmless, right? But there's a serious problem. It puts her on a pedestal instantly. In her mind, you're already completely won over, without her having to put in any effort. This kills any sense of mystery, any challenge. And if there's no challenge, there's no attraction. The second one, you're so different from other women. It sounds like a powerful line, but guess what? She's heard it before. And worse, many times, it comes across as a forced attempt to win her over. Some women even see this compliment as cheap manipulation. In the end, instead of making her feel special, you just end up looking like another guy desperate for attention. And the third, the most dangerous of all, I don't know how someone like you is still single. It seems like a genuine expression of admiration, right? But what does this really communicate? Insecurity. It's as if you're saying, you're way too good for me. And you know what happens when a woman realizes that a guy sees himself as beneath her? She loses respect. And without respect, attraction disappears. Now you're probably thinking, okay, so how do I compliment her without making these mistakes? There's a right way to do it, a method that builds connection without making you seem needy or predictable. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. If you want to compliment a woman without killing attraction, there's one golden rule. Never put her on a pedestal. Most guys make the mistake of using generic lines like, you're so beautiful, and thinking that will impress her. But if everyone says the same thing, what's the real impact? None. The secret is to craft compliments that spark curiosity and make her feel like you truly notice her in a unique way. For example, instead of saying, wow, you're beautiful, try something like, I like your style. You've got a really unique taste. See the difference? You're not just validating her looks. You're showing that you notice details others might overlook. This makes the compliment feel authentic and natural, instead of sounding like a desperate attempt to win her over. Another powerful trick, compliment behaviors, not just appearance. If she makes a smart comment or reacts in an unexpected way, say something like, I like the way you see things. Your perspective is really interesting. This doesn't just show that you're genuinely paying attention, but also creates a sense of connection and mystery. She'll start wondering why you think that. Now, you might be asking, okay, but how do I know if I'm doing this right? Good question. There's a simple test that reveals whether your compliment is working or if you're still falling into the trap of seeking approval. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you now. Now that you know how to compliment the right way, it's time to test if it's actually working. And the first sign is her reaction. If she just responds with a quick thanks and changes the subject, that means your compliment didn't create an emotional impact. But if she smiles, pauses, or even responds with the question, congratulations, you nailed it. Another key indicator. Did your compliment spark curiosity, or was it just basic validation? For example, you say, I like the way you see things, it's different. If she just replies, thanks, something's still off. But if she asks something like, really? What exactly do you find different? That means your compliment triggered her interest. And that's gold. Also, pay attention to whether your compliment opens up the conversation instead of shutting it down. The problem with conventional compliments is that they end the interaction instead of deepening it. A well-placed compliment makes a woman want to share more about herself, unconsciously starting to invest in the conversation with you. Now imagine taking this to the next level. Imagine sparking such an intense desire in her that even she doesn't understand why she's becoming more and more attracted to you. There's a hidden detail in the female mind that can naturally trigger this response. And if you want to know how it works, I've got something special for you. Now that you understand how to compliment without killing attraction, let me tell you a secret. This is just the beginning. There's a hidden detail in female psychology that most men completely overlook. And when you learn how to activate it, women start feeling drawn to you without even knowing why. This has nothing to do with looks, money, or status. It's about understanding how to trigger an unconscious and irresistible desire. Imagine a method so powerful that it makes a woman think about you all the time, without even realizing it. something that activates specific emotional triggers and creates such a deep connection that she feels she needs to be around you. And the best part? It happens naturally, no games, no forcing anything. These are psychological principles that some guys use without even knowing, but that almost no one teaches properly. If this interests you, I have something that could completely change your game. There's a video that explains exactly how this works. And it's not about cheap tricks or pickup lines. It's a real method based on how the female brain processes attraction. In the first pinned comment, you'll find a direct link to this content. If you want to understand what really makes a woman feel emotionally obsessed with a man, I highly recommend you watch it now. Click the link and see for yourself how it works. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. There's much more coming. Now go check it out and discover the secret that can completely change the way women see you.